Alright, so we've watched a video already about choosing plasma cutting appropriate images and touching them up so that they will actually work on the plasma cutter using Microsoft Paint. Now we're going to do a video on how to convert those pixelized images into something that is based on mathematical curves. In our case, we're using a DXF drawing, and that's based on mathematical curves that the machine can actually understand because it does not understand pixels. So what we're going to do is take our Adidas logo that we've touched up and we're going to vectorize it. We'll go to vectorization.org. Make sure you use Firefox and make sure you use Google so that everything that I show you is happening the same way. Let's browse for our file. I'm just going to look on the desktop and type in Rick, and it'll show all the Rick files. There it is, rickadidaslogo.jpg. Open. Alright, there it is. And I'm going to convert it to a DXF. That's what we need. And hit start. It'll process my request. Alright, and there it is. So it has processed it and converted my JPEG into a DXF. Click on it and choose Save the File. Don't open it. Save the file. And here it is, downloaded. Okay, so Rick Sandhu Adidas logo DXF. If I click on the containing folder, it shows me that this file is located in the downloads folder. Kids can't find their file because they think it's on the desktop. This time it's on the downloads folder. I want to grab this and drag and drop it, move to desktop. There it is. Now don't right click and send to desktop because it'll just create a shortcut. It won't actually send the file. Okay? Alright, so that's on the desktop. And when I go take a look at the desktop, there's a file here now. There's my original photograph, JPEG, and here is a vectorized version. It's a DXF file. Okay? What I'm going to do now is use TurboCAD. It's a program that we're licensed for here, and we're going to use TurboCAD on one of the three big laptops. The small laptop I have works as well, but it's just really slow. And yeah, so you have 4 computers to choose from. And in fact, the computer that's in the back room that we're using to run the machine also has TurboCAD and an internet connection. So if you really think about it, you've got 5 computers right here that we could use. So I'm going to go into TurboCAD. Some kids will double click this file and they'll get frustrated because it doesn't open TurboCAD properly. So instead of doing that, I'm going to show the way that works every single time. Some computers it works to double click, some it doesn't, but if you want it to work every single time, then you simply go to TurboCAD in the Start menu and you open it up. Now it takes a while for TurboCAD to open. It's a very heavy program. So you can see I'm waiting and then that goes away, comes back. So it does sometimes take a long time for TurboCAD to kick in. Just be patient. And from here, I'm going to open a file. It says, look on the desktop. If I want to, I could probably type in Rick. And it'll probably locate it for me. Now, I want the DXF, you guys. Rick Sandhu Adidas logo DXF. There it is. Open. You don't want to open JPEGs in this program. So there's my file, and people panic. They're like, where is it? Well, if I zoom out with the mouse wheel, I'll see it. Okay? So it's converted this into a series of lines and curves that are mathematical. They're not based on pixels. Okay? And if you, for some reason, kind of can't find it, like you're like, where's my file? I can't find it. It's totally lost. Then you go to View, and you go to Zoom, and you go to Extents, and it goes to the extents of your project. There it is. View, Zoom, Extents can re-find your project in space, wherever it ended up. Alright. So, also sometimes kids distort their project's view like this, and they get really frustrated with that. And you can go to View, 3D Views, and go to the top 3D view. There it is. It goes back to the top view of it. Okie doke. So when I take the select tool right here, I've got a select tool. I started out on the line tool. You don't necessarily want to be drawing lines, right? at this point, but you do want to select your item with the select tool. You'll see if I drag the window this way, I get a blue window. If I drag the cursor this way, one's supposed to be blue and one's supposed to be green. Graphics are a little bit wonky, but the difference is this. If I use this window, anything that's inside of here will get selected. If I go the other way, okay, anything it touches will get selected. So this is select everything in the window. This is select everything that is intersecting in the window. So if I even just do like that, it selects a whole bunch of stuff there because everything was touching it. Okay? Now look at how big this project is right now. Right here, it says it's 1,920 inches long. In the x-axis, it is 1,080 inches tall. It's just a bit big, guys. Okay? I don't even know if that fits in this room. We can't plasma cut it. So the whole reason you're using TurboCAD is to take your project that you've vectorized and to size it to an appropriate size. So what we do is we select the whole project, and then we go to change one of these sizes here. So if I was to change this to 4 inches, okay, because that's what we want, a 4 inch by 4 inch project, okay? If I change this to 4 inches, highlight it and change it to 4, hit enter, it totally messes it up, okay? It looks like intestines. Okay, so that doesn't work. What we need to do is go over here to this icon that says keep aspect ratio. Turn that on first. Aspect ratio is the relationship between the height and the width. So it'll maintain that relationship so that it doesn't distort. So now if I go to change this, highlight 1920 inches, hit delete, hit 4 inches, hit enter, it shrinks it, but it shrinks it proportionally. So if I mouse wheel in, now I'm lost and I don't know where it is. View, zoom, extents. Looks the same as it did before. It does not pixelate because it's not a pixel-based drawing. But now it's 4 inches long and it's 2¼ inches high. That's appropriate for our plasma cut, okay? What I'm going to do now is just simply save it. So people want to go File, Save As. Please don't do that. Just hit the Save Diskette icon or go File, Save, and it writes right over top of your old file. That way I don't have 6 or 7 versions of your project saved all over the place, okay? That's it. We have gone through the whole process. This would work if I wanted a piece of sheet metal that was a rectangle sheet metal with this stuff cut out of it, okay? That would work. But what would happen if you wanted to, say, keep a project, maybe I want a circle around it, okay? Let's do that. So I'm going to choose the Select tool, select the rectangle, hit Delete, choose the Circle tool, and somewhere in the center, draw out a circle. There it is, okay? Now, if I take the Select tool and I see how big it is, it's 3 inches by 3 inches. You know, technically, I could make that bigger because I'm allowed to go up to 4 inches. So make sure the aspect ratio is turned on. Change that to 4, hit enter, and that would be appropriate for me to cut for the size of the project that you're allowed to do. Now, let me just see something here. If I zoom this screen to make it look like it's about 4 inches, like on my screen right now, not on your screen, on my screen that is about 4 inches. And I look at it and I think that my plasma cutter should be able to get into these details without melting anything. That would be appropriate. If you zoom it on your screen and you've got it zoomed to the point where it kind of looks like it's the appropriate size for a real life project and the details are too fine, then you know that that's not really going to work out. It's going to be too fine of a detail. It's just going to melt. All right, that's it, folks.